Hello and welcome to day number 4 of your pregnancy challenge. Today we're going to be looking at a topic that again came up repeatedly, and that was parents being concerned as to whether they would be, or certainly the mums in this case, whether they would be a good mother. And that might be that it was single-time mums and therefore have no experience of parenting, or it might be that mums that have other kids and are wondering how they can continue to be a good mum, adding one more body to the household. So I think it's a really, really interesting and really, really vital topic, because in my mind, the real crux of this is what is a good parent? What is a good parent? And the answer to that is crucial, because it's not about what your neighbour thinks, or or what people in some of your classes think, or what your best friend thinks. It's about what you think. It's about your own values, about your own parenting style, and about what you want to achieve for you and for your children, and what you want to hold yourself to account for. And I think that's the most important thing. And if you haven't given any thought to that, today is a great opportunity to do that. So it's a very, very simple worksheet today. And before we start filling out the worksheet, the first thing that I'd like to do is maybe just take yourself back to your own childhood and think, and you might want to do this, it might just be things that are off the top of your head, or you might just want to, again, close your eyes and just relax and kind of take yourself through a bit of a journey back to your childhood, and think about some real specifics. So what are the moments that really stand out for you as special moments that you had with your parents? And I'm willing to bet on those moments aren't whether or not your clothes were washed, ironed and put away in your drawer, and whether or not the floor was always hoovered and the dishwasher was unloaded by 9 a.m, which I'm guilty of that being something that stresses me if those things aren't done. But actually, are those the things that really matter? Yes, of course, we want to have a great environment for our kids, but what are the things that really matter to you? What are the things that stand out for you from your childhood? Is it the one-on-one interaction with your parents? Is it some really special moments that they had? Is it a particular song that you sang together? I don't know. And then on the other flip side, you might want to think about some of the things that perhaps weren't such great experiences. It may be that there's things in your childhood that you would really, really rather that, for whatever reason happened, but you would want to do differently. So those are ones to think about as well. And then once you've had a chance to have that thing, I want you to then write down on your worksheet 5, I guess, what you would consider parenting goals. And these are the goals of the day-to-day things. They're not goals about whether you want to, send your child to the very best school, which obviously, we all want those things, but it's about the things that you can control and influence on a day-to-day basis that are really going to make the difference for you and for your child or children, and the bond that you have. I'll give you an example. For me, it's about being present. It's about making time, even if it's for a short time a day, when I have undivided time with my son, where he has my full attention. And no, that doesn't mean that he's playing and I'm, checking my phone for messages or whatever. It means that he has my undivided attention. It means that if I take him to the park and he's on the swing, I'm not on my phone, I'm not reading a book, I'm with him. And for me, it's really important that every day, at some point, that there is that one-on-one time to connect and interact. And I think that is so important. So that's certainly one for me. And again, it'd be great to hear some thoughts about what you guys think great parenting is, because we can get really caught up in the day-to-day. And if you haven't thought about what you want as to be, and what you think great parenting is, what can happen is that you can then get caught up in the day-to-day of, the piles of laundry that haven't been done, and the shopping list that hasn't been dealt with, and the hoovering that's behind, and whatever else, or the amount of money that's coming in, and you can start to measure yourself against the things that you're not doing, as opposed to focusing on the ones that you are. So by having some, just 5 things that that are really simple, that you think are really important and that are really going to be the difference between you being a great parent and not being a great parent, and writing those down. It just means that you can check yourself against those, because part of being a parent, you know, we don't have somebody who manages us. We don't get feedback from our kids, so it can be really hard to know if we're doing a good job. Yeah, I think when they're a bit older, we get some feedback, sometimes unwarranted, but especially in the early days, if you can have an image in your mind of what it is that you want to be, you know, known for as a great parent, then you can just keep checking and being like, actually, you know what, I am doing that. I am doing a good job, and not focusing on perhaps the things that, day-to-day things that aren't getting done. And another thing you could do is think about, you know, if you were to ask your child or children, you know, in 25 years' time, you know, to tell you about their journey and experience of being parented by you, what would you want them to say? What are 5 things that you would want them to absolutely say about you, or absolutely not say about you? And that can really help with shaping those 5 goals as well. So again, write them down, again reiterating the importance of the difference between things being in your head and being out there. And it can really, really help you, I promise you, when there's the days when, you know, when you haven't slept and when there's things to be done, and you're focusing on all of the things that you haven't done. If you've got this list, I guarantee that these are things that you will just inherently be doing anyway, but it just means that they're there, and you can just check off and be like, yeah, you know what, I'm holding myself to what I said I would do as a great parent. And if for any reason you're not doing them, then you can make the changes accordingly. There's another exercise in one of the other videos where we'll be looking about how this works kind of with your partner as well, which is an important part of it. But for now, this is about kind of you and what you want to achieve as a great mother. So yeah, enjoy doing that. It's one of my favourite tasks. I think it's an absolutely brilliant thing to do. As I've mentioned before, I love goals, and if we have them for work, you know, and we have them for everything else, why should we not have them for how we're going to be a great parent? So please comment with your thoughts and any of your, you know, parenting goals. I'd love to hear them, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.